Welcome back to Rodecast, guys. Hope y'all doing well out there. I'm your host, Rod, as always. And in this video, we're going to be looking at another raid that was done by ICE and Homeland Security, this time in Sacramento, where a bunch of taco wans were running, screaming from the police. It was a beautiful sight to behold. So we're going to watch this Fox News video and what they had to say. I'll make some comments and I'll show you some more resulting things that have come from this, like a whiner who's been screaming that her U.S. citizen husband has been arrested. And there's a very good reason her U.S. citizen husband was arrested. She won't tell you that, but I'll show you exactly why he was arrested.
There's no sanctuary city. Sacramento is not a sanctuary city. The state of California is not a sanctuary state. There is no sanctuary anywhere.
So now there's a raid on this Home Depot in California's capital city of Sacramento. Look at the video there through the windshield. Driving that point home from the comment you heard about a sanctuary city. Fox was there exclusively as it all went down, and Bill Malusian joins us now live in Sacramento.
After having to listen to these disgusting people not speak English and use their horrible, insulting terrorist language called Spanish, it's so good to see these tacos running, screaming from the police. The reason I enjoy this so much is because I hate these people being here and speaking their foreign languages and not respecting the native population being us and having no regard for us and trying to destroy our culture and replace it with their disgusting, vile culture. Okay, that's why I take so much pleasure in what's happening, because it just feels so good to finally have the law being on our side and doing something for the Native Americans here. And that's right, native-born Americans.
With illegal crossings at the southern border at the lowest levels in recorded history, that has freed up Border Patrol resources to come and help ICE with interior immigration enforcement. And we joined a Border Patrol California strike team as they came right here to Sacramento and carried out an operation. We'll get right into that video. Take a look at this. As soon as we pulled up to a local Home Depot out here, suspected illegal immigrants started taking off running in all directions pretty much as soon as they saw those federal agents pull.
So Judge Frimpong was asking the government during arguments how they knew to go after certain people. And that's one way you know. You don't have to base it on race or ethnicity as she proposed in her ridiculous decision. The way the police knows who's a criminal is when they actually run away from you as soon as they get a whiff of you. That's one of the ways that they know that they're illegals. And also based on other factors as well, like the language, the fact that they don't speak a single word of English, makes it pretty clear that they just hopped the border yesterday. But nevertheless, there are two reasons this judge's decision doesn't apply. First of all, this judge is in the Central District of California, which is not in this area. Okay, this is in the Northern District of California, and therefore her decision does not apply there. But even if it did, they can still do this raid because they did surveillance on this place and found literal criminals with other crimes in their record, including one guy who was arrested 67 times. That is part of the story that MSNBC will not tell you. They just say, oh, they raided another Home Depot. Yeah, but who was there? Actual criminals were there with criminal records. They did surveillance and they gathered evidence. And then, and only then, did they do the actual raid. Okay. And you saw the criminals running away like the vermin that they are. Okay, so this is how you know. If Judge Frimpong was wondering how the police know who the criminals are when people run away screaming as soon as they see a police car, that's a clue as to the illegals, as to who the people who committed crimes are. Just a lesson in law enforcement for Judge Frimpong, who knows nothing about it and is trying to tell the executive branch what to do. We have a division of powers for a reason, and the founding fathers gave foreign policy regulation to the president and to Congress. And Congress has already passed the laws, which the executive branch is implementing. And she's not happy about the implementation. Okay, that's her problem. There's a division of powers in the Constitution for a reason, so that one branch can't dictate how everything runs. Just because she doesn't like the immigration policies, because she herself is a daughter of immigrants, so she's very offended by the fact that the native people of this country want to defend this country.
As soon as we pulled up to a local Home Depot out here, suspected illegal immigrants started taking off running in all directions pretty much as soon as they saw those federal agents pull up. That immediately led to several foot pursuits with agents chasing these men down. Border Patrol tells us they ended up arresting 11 illegal aliens at this one Home Depot parking lot. Several of them had criminal histories and prior deportations. More on that in a moment, but we want to show you this. Take a look at this. They also chased down and arrested this U.S. citizen, the guy in the black hat, after agents say he slashed the tire on one of their vehicles. You'll see them pursue him. He goes to the ground, entangles with agents on the ground, then appears to lunge at one of those agents. Well, that ended up causing him to get maced in the face. Take a look at the aftermath of this. I snapped this photo as I came across the scene here. You see him with mace in his face.
So this is the Violent Jose I was talking about, and his wife was rowdy. And this is what this one's got to say. She was screaming at the agents for like several minutes, and then she had an interview. She did multiple interviews trying to get us to bleed our hearts out. Unfortunately, it's not working.
Be careful. This could happen to you. This could happen to your family. It's not about you being legal or illegal anymore. It's about you being brown.
Well, no, I don't have a problem with that. First of all, this cannot happen to anybody because your husband destroyed government property. That's why he was arrested. And as far as the brown thing goes, this country is not for you. Okay, you have a country. It's south of the border. Black people and white people built this country from the beginning, and they're not happy that you are invading our country. Okay, that's the problem here. You think you own the entire planet. Look at the entitlement here, okay? They come here and they expect everything to be handed to them, as if their ancestors were here in the 1600s and built America from the ground up, which they did not, by the way.
My husband would have never gotten targeted if he was white, if he wasn't brown.
Plenty of white people have been arrested. Russians have been shipped back to their country as well. The media won't cover it. Asians have been arrested. ICE is going after everybody. Okay, so it's not coming after just you. It just happens that you are right across the border and your people have invaded more into America than other countries. If Sweden was bordering us to the south, most of the people who are being arrested would be Swedish. But Sweden is not bordering us.
Would have never gotten targeted. I know that for a fact. And the fact that this
She does not know any facts. This is all nothing but emotion.
Administration is allowing all these people to do this to hardworking people.
No amount of hard work can get rid of the fact that you're a criminal. Okay, the law punishes actions individually. There are a lot of hardworking criminals in prison. Just because you work hard in one part of your life doesn't mean you can't commit crimes. They can't seem to understand this. They seem to think that criminality is wiped away if you just work hard enough. It's insanity.
You see him with mace in his face. He was arrested for impeding federal agents, according to Border Patrol. His wife was there screaming that he's a U.S. citizen. Agents said, well, too bad. He slashed the tire on our car. He's coming with us today, and we do have photos of that slashed tire. Take a look at this. You can see the puncture mark or the slash there, and then the deflated tire. Border Patrol having to drive that vehicle off on its rims. In the meantime, we talked to the Border Patrol chief who organized this whole operation.
So yeah, like I said, the U.S. citizen that she was screaming about was not arrested for immigration crimes. He was arrested for just being a crook in America. Americans are arrested all the time for being criminals. That's part of having to live in a society with law and order. If you commit crimes, especially against law enforcement, they're going to arrest you. It doesn't matter what your status is. In this case, this guy was a U.S. citizen. She says, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. But let's say that's true. But you damaged government property. That's why your husband was arrested. So shut up about how he's a U.S. citizen. U.S. citizens are arrested every day for committing crimes.
Last week, Governor Newsom mocked him and called him a tough guy. So right here on the steps of the Capitol, I asked him to respond to Governor Newsom. Take a listen.
If it's going after child molesters and kidnappers and that makes me a tough guy, and rescuing children from forced labor and that type of thing, then I'm guilty as by God charged. Guilty as charged. If making Mom and Pa America a safer place, if that makes me a tough guy, guilty as charged.
So, Bill, I talked to Border Patrol, and the initial records checks on the guys they arrested came back. Here's what they have. One of them was a Mexican national who's an aggravated felon with a prior conviction for fentanyl trafficking. And listen to this. He's been arrested in California 67 times since 1986.
Yeah, 67 times. That's how many times he's been arrested. These are the great people at Home Depot. Okay. Idiots on the left always assume that these day laborers cannot be criminals, that criminals can't have day jobs. Okay. All these people are angels who just want a better life. That's their narrative. If they don't even know what the criminal records are. They don't care. They automatically assume if they're not white or black, that they must be angels. Okay. The native people is who they attack. The foreigners is who they love.
There was a previously deported Guatemalan aggravated felon, a previously deported Mexican national with a prior arrest for driving without a license, and a Guatemalan with the previous removal in 2009 with a prior arrest for trespassing and failure to provide ID. Bill, those were just random guys standing around at a Home Depot here in the sanctuary state of California yesterday.
So I think you guys get my point. Don't assume anything is the point, okay? Let law enforcement do their job. And trying to get in their way without knowing any of the facts is going to get your husband arrested. And him doing damage to government property is also not going to help. What do you think was going to happen? Just because you slashed their tires, you thought ICE was going to leave? No, they stayed and arrested more people, including your husband. So dummies are going to be doing dumb things and they're going to be getting arrested. And the local media doesn't do a lot of research and they report on this stuff. And all it does is end up demonizing ICE. And then more dummies from the left will go and try to protest and get themselves into more trouble. So this is the cycle that's happening. Irresponsibility all across the board, people not doing their research. Okay, everybody has freedom in this country, at least the citizens do, to do what they're going to do. But people should be more responsible so we can have better outcomes when it comes to everything overall. Okay. But anyways, that's all I got to say for this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'll see you guys in my next one. Stay safe out there.